One of the things about abusive relationships that doesn't make sense to people is why someone, and it's usually women because most abusers are men, doesn't leave, stays with someone, gives them another chance, goes back to them. And society often blames the survivor for doing this. And there's lots of reasons for it. There's financial control, financial abuse, threat, physical abuse, being pulled away from your family and friends and isolated. The fact this person is probably stripping you of your autonomy and identity. All of these things and more. But the thing that nobody knows about is actually the biggest factor of all, and that's that hormone called oxytocin. Now, if you haven't seen the first part of this, you might want to go onto my bio page and have a look for the video and watch that. But very briefly, oxytocin is a hormone that causes feelings of safety, security, bonding, and trust. Now, you're being flooded with oxytocin by an abuser during their mirroring phase, when they're creating this false sense of connection with you. And not only that, you're being flooded with dopamine, so you're falling in love, you're feeling happy. But this person, if it becomes a fairly intense relationship, as it often does, or you move in with them, and they're stripping you away from your family and friends, and isolating you, then this person becomes your main source of oxytocin. So the cruelest irony of all is that your main source of this hormone that makes you feel safe and secure and makes you trust people is the very person who's abusing you. And it gets worse because high levels of oxytocin, which are produced by this very intense start to the relationship, upregulate the monkey brain, which, if you remember from part one, isn't perceiving threat. I saw the red flags, but I ignored them. That's why. But then it starts downgrading the rational part of your brain, the bit that should be in charge. So for want of a better word, people become a little bit more susceptible to lies, more gullible. And that's why they fall for what they kind of know on one level is absolute BS. But the monkey brain is saying, no, you can trust this person, you're safe, you're secure. And this causes all sorts of problems at the end if you discard it or you're able to leave that relationship. Because often women will sit there and go, I saw what he was doing, I knew there were lies, and I still gave him another chance. I'm so stupid, I'm so weak, it's all my fault. And they feel guilt and they feel shame. What they don't realise is that they were under the influence of this incredibly powerful hormone that promotes the feelings of safety, security, and trust, and has been in human beings since time immemorial. So this was done to them. And when people realize that, it's quite a powerful thing, because you suddenly realize it turns around. This isn't my doing. There's reasons, there's chemical reasons, there's biological reasons why I stayed, why I gave him another chance, why, if he's not a covert narcissist and, projecting to the world they're a wonderful person, perhaps family or friends were saying, look, this guy's toxic, you gotta get out, but you still stayed. You're under the influence of this incredibly powerful hormone, which the abuser created within you. If you're interested in finding out more about how this might apply to you individually, then contact me, because I do coaching on this, and I also can teach techniques on reversing all these changes. Failing that, we'll get to oxytocin withdrawal in part 4, but we're going to get to part 3 next of the doom loop. And believe it or not, that's even worse than parts 1 and 2. And if people only knew about all of this, they'd stop beating themselves up. They'd realize it was done to them. So I can't make this bit any clearer. This was done to you. This was not your fault.